Yo, what's good, everyone? Sideshow MMA here, and today I'll be breaking down UFC Fight Night, Edwards versus Brady. So yeah, let's get right into it. Getting started with the first fight of the night. I guess it would be morning for me. I'm in America. Garam Kudateledze versus Caio Fernandez. All right, starting the shit with an absolute banger. Caio is very good. All right, he's a very good kickboxer, vicious low kicks. KO'd Muhammad Yahya in his last fight. Fucking brutalized his leg before the KO. Bad. Yahya could barely fucking stand. I've seen Garam struggle with low kicks at times as well, but I think Garam will win this fight. I'm a huge fan of Garam Kudateledze. Big believer in him. Genuinely thought he could be champ one day. I still do, to a certain extent, based off like skill alone. But I don't like what I've been seeing from him recently. The loss to Damir Ismagulov is what it is. You know, Damir is very good. He was very hyped up during the time. They both were. It was a super high-level fight. I think he lost the fight. I know it was like a little controversial, the decision, but he looked super sharp against Damir, who's a very good striker. He looked really good against Elvis Brenner, too, and then he literally quit in round 3. I still don't know why the fuck he just backed up and let himself get TKO'd. I don't understand. It was super weird. He 100% quit. I'm not sure what the fuck happened. There was 2 minutes left in the fight. He would have won. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Still to this day, I don't fucking get it. You know, he beat Jordan Vucenic. He got dropped bad early in the fight. Came back and scored a decision over Vucenic, who's no fucking joke, by the way. He's also on this card. We'll get to him. I just think this will be a super exciting fight. I can see Caio Fernandez having moments in round 1 with the low kicks. But I think Garam will be a little too sharp for him. I think he'll snipe him. I think Garam will snipe Caio at a certain point. Maybe the second round. Maybe Garam will find it towards the second round. I think he can catch Fernandez coming in. Caio Fernandez has a like karate-ish style. He has a tendency to bounce into range and really telegraph when he's going to throw something big. And I think Garam is a little too quick, and he could catch him at round 2, starting to pick up on the timing of Caio, and yeah, snipe him in round 2 and put him out. I'm going to go round 2 TKO for Garam Kudateledze over Caio Fernandez. Moving on to the next fight, Nathan Fletcher versus Colin Loughran. I'm going to go Nathan Fletcher to win this fight by decision. Colin Loughran is fucking awful. Entertaining personality for sure. Knows how to stir up drama, but he doesn't really know how to fight. He doesn't really have that part down, dude. He got fucked up bad by Taylor Lapulus, who did recently get cut. Not really sure why, but whatever. He then won his next fight against Angel Pacheco, but he looked like shit in that fight. He then lost to Jake Hadley, which is not a great loss. Hadley is not very good. Colin Loughran has never really looked that good to me. He stands straight up with no bend in his knees. So I think Fletcher will definitely be able to take him down easily throughout the fight. We saw a similar thing happen with Raoni Barcelos and Peyton Talbot. Talbot stands straight up with no bend in his knees. And he can't get underhooks. He can't sprawl. He's standing straight the fuck up. Colin Loughran does the same shit. I know Colin Loughran has better wrestling than Talbot does. It's a different example for sure. But I think Fletcher will be able to get him down easily throughout this fight. Fletcher did lose to Con Offley on Tough, which is not a great loss, if I'm being honest. But in the UFC, nasty arm triangle choke in his debut. Looked really improved since Tough, if I'm being honest. He has improved as a fighter, in my opinion, from what I've seen. Thing about Loughran is he can't be submitted, which is an unfair advantage. He has no neck. Colin Loughran does not have a fucking neck that Nathan Fletcher can get his arms around to choke him. So I think it'll be tough for Fletcher to get a submission win. Even though I think it's possible, I think it'll be hard. The thing is, I just think Fletcher's better all around. I think he'll win this fight in every area, the striking, the grappling, everywhere. He's just better. I'll go 30-27 win over Colin Loughran for Nathan Fletcher. Loughran's not very good at this fighting thing. All right. But yeah, moving on to the next fight. Shauna Bannon versus Pooja Tomar. I'll go Pooja Tomar. Moving on to the next fight, Christian Leroy Duncan versus Andrei Poliev. Here's the thing about CLD, you guys. He does way too fucking much at times, dude. Like, he'll be trying to set some spinning shit up the whole fucking fight to the point where he lets the fight slip away from him. He's not actually trying to win. He's trying to get a crazy highlight reel KO. and he goes out of his way to do some dumb shit that, like, if it works, maybe it's cool. It gets posted on ESPN. But it's not always necessary, dude. Just win the fucking fight, all right? Do your job. He needs to focus on winning the fight. That other shit can come with it, but I think CLD needs to focus on winning instead of highlight reeling his opponents. Because while he's trying to set shit up, he's losing the fight. And if that shit doesn't land, you're down 2 rounds, and it's the 3rd round, buddy. Figure it out, dude. However, I think he's good enough to beat Andre Puliev, in my opinion. Puliev looked really, really sloppy on the feet on the Contender Series. He won the fight by decision, but his boxing looked sloppy. His kicks looked all right, I remember. I just think he's prone to getting caught by a guy like CLD who has that ability to catch you while you're being sloppy, bounce away, counter, crack you bad. And, CLD is coming off a loss to Gregory Rodriguez, but before that he beat Claudio Ribeiro, Dennis Tululin, both by finish. I think CLD will finish Andre Puliev. Puliev has been KO'd on the regional scene, actually somewhat recently too. I'm going to go CLD to put him out late in round 2. Yeah. I like CLD stylistically. I think it's a good matchup for him. And I think he'll get back in the win column with this one. Moving on to the next fight. Marcin Tybura versus Mick Parkin. I'm going to go Mick Parkin. I'm a fan of Mick Parkin. I think he's really good. A lot of potential. Up-and-coming prospect. Pretty sure he trains with Aspinall at his gym, which I like to see because Aspinall is super good, and he's the champion of his division. So it's always good when you're training with a champion. Mick Parkin he KO'd Lucas Bursky in his last fight. He looked really sharp in that one. Tybura's 40, dude. He's fucking 40 years old. Beat Jonata Deniz in his last fight. Whatever. Before that, lost to Sergey Spivak. Come on. Can't lose to Sergey Spivak. I just think it's a layup for Parkin. He'll keep his momentum going to build hype. I'm going to go Mick Parkin to win. First round TKO, probably. I think he'll hit Tybura with some shit, dude. Fucking put him out. Yeah. Moving up the card. Loner Kavanaugh versus Felipe Dos Santos. Shit. All right. I love Loner Kavanaugh, dude. I've actually talked to him in the DMs before. Not flexing. It's just true. Pause. I've been watching his career since he KO'd Ryan Morgan in Cage Warriors. I'm a huge fan of him, dude. He's so young. I will say, I think this is a bit too quick of a jump up in competition for Kavanaugh. Felipe Dos Santos is so good. He's a really good striker, really technical. I think in round 1, I can see it being a battle of the low kicks. They both kick low very well. I think Kavanaugh does it a little better. I think Kavanaugh will have a speed advantage in this fight on the feet. Super good at attacking opponents' legs. He butchers his opponent's leg on pretty much every fight he had in Cage Warriors. His game plan was to destroy the opponent's leg, and it set up the rest of Kavanaugh's striking throughout the fight. I will say Kavanaugh is pretty prone to low kicks himself because he has a super wide stance. Kavanaugh has been dropped in Cage Warriors multiple times, actually. And I think Dos Santos will take advantage of the low kicks of Kavanaugh, or take advantage of the availability that the low kicks are on Kavanaugh. I think Kavanaugh does have a super wide stance. I think Felipe Dos Santos will make it a point to kick his legs. I wasn't super impressed with Kavanaugh's last performance, in all honesty, in his UFC debut. And Felipe has been fighting very good competition. Even though he's 1-2 in his last 3, he lost to Manel Cap. Dude, that's not a bad loss. Manel Cap is in title talks. He lost to Andre Lima. Andre Lima's 10-0. Andre Lima's a beast, dude. Both those guys are very good. I think Dos Santos will beat Kavanaugh 29-28. I think it's a bit too quick for that kind of jump up in competition for Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh is good, and I do think he can become a champ one day, but I think he needs time to refine his style a bit. Kavanaugh is super young, only 25. Dos Santos is only 24, though, so they're both super young. They both have super bright futures in the sport, for sure. Maybe Kavanaugh can catch Dos Santos if Dos Santos is, engaging in a brawl a bit. Maybe he'll rock him bad or something, or put him down and win around for himself. But I think Dos Santos will win this fight by decision. As much as I hate to go against Kavanaugh, it's my guy. I'm going to have to. I'm rooting against him. I'm rooting for him. Fuck. I'm rooting for Kavanaugh. Damn. The true colors are shown. That fucking, forget what that's called. Something slip. It's a something slip, but it wasn't that. Freudian slip or some shit. Moving on to the next fight. Chris Padilla versus Jai Herbert. I'm going to go Jai Herbert to TKO Chris Padilla. I think Chris Padilla is good. He beat the fuck out of Rong Zhu, sliced him up bad with elbows, but he is pretty open to getting hit on the feet, dude. And Jai Herbert always capitalizes on guys that are open to being hit. He beat Ronaldo Bedoya in his last one, lost to Fares Ziam, not a bad loss at all. Fares Ziam is about to fight fucking Aldo. Went to a draw with Ludovic Klein, beat Kyle Nelson. I think Jai Herbert will beat Chris Padilla, who is essentially, in my opinion, prone to being picked apart on the feet at some point in his career. Chris Padilla is a guy who really likes to get up in your face and make it dirty. He'll make it nasty. Hands high. He's going to try and make it a brawl. That's just his style of striking. Whilst Jai Herbert is more of a counter puncher, a slip counter, or like keep you at range and kick you and then come in with a boxing combo and low kick at the end. That's Jai Herbert's game. And I favor that style against a guy like Chris Padilla who is standing straight up with his hands high, trying to make shit dirty. I can see Padilla getting frustrated, not being able to get into the range of Jai Herbert. Jai Herbert's a super tall, rangy fighter. I think Padilla will have a hard time getting to Jai Herbert and being able to punch him, especially a guy that likes to fight up close. I can see him getting frustrated. Herbert bouncing in and out of range, kicking Padilla, countering him, maybe even dropping Padilla at some point. I think Jai Herbert will win this fight 30-27, a dominant win over Chris Padilla. And yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I think Jai Herbert will look good in this fight. And he's about to remind us who the fuck he is, dude. Jai Herbert's no joke. Moving on to the next fight. First fight on the main card. Morgan Charrier versus Nathaniel Wood. Got a fucking scrap, boys. I'm going to go Morgan Charrier to TKO Nathaniel Wood, actually. Let me explain. Morgan Charrier is a fucking beast in the striking, all right? He's got KO power. He's got slick striking. He makes super good reads, makes them quick, adjusts well. Very high level fighter, high fight IQ, super smart in there. I do think Nathaniel Wood is very good, but I think Morgan Charrier is a level above him. I think Charrier is faster. He's quicker. They don't mean the same thing. Fast and quick do not mean the same thing, by the way. I think Nathaniel Wood's body is a bit prone to being kicked, as well as his legs. And I think Charrier will use the low and body kicks to set up his hands. I can see the kicks maybe taking a toll on Wood's body and his legs, getting Wood to drop his hands. Charrier's boxing will open up. He'll be beating the shit out of Nathaniel Wood. I've seen Nathaniel Wood get dropped bad at times, and I don't trust that against a guy like Morgan Charrier, who is super powerful, is super good, is super accurate, is super quick. I just think he's going to beat Nathaniel Wood, and that's a very good win for Morgan Charrier to get. I think Charrier is next level, and I think he'll go far in the sport. I'm going to go Morgan Charrier to TKO Nathaniel Wood in round 3. Moving on to the next fight, Jordan Vucenic versus Chris Duncan. I'm going to go Jordan Vucenic to sub Chris Duncan in round 1. I'm just going to say it. Chris Duncan is fucking dog shit. He's not good at all. I think he's way too open on the feet, and I can see Vucenic catching him, putting him down early, and latching up a choke. Charlie Campbell put down Chris Duncan. Vyacheslav Borshchev put down Chris Duncan. I think Vucenic can as well, and I don't think it's that crazy to say. I can see Duncan getting dropped, Vucenic latching up a choke and that being it. I don't think Duncan's good. Vucenic looked really good against Garem. He did drop him. If you can drop a guy like Garem, you can definitely drop a guy. And Garem has super sound defense on the feet. If you can drop him, you can drop fucking Chris Duncan. I think he'll drop Duncan and take advantage of the position and latch up a choke. Jordan Vucenic has 6 submissions. He's a great fighter. Chris Duncan's not very good at fighting. Vucenic is. This is probably my lock for the card. Moving up the card, Molly McCann versus Alexia Tainara. Who fucking cares, dude? Literally. I'll go Alexia Tainara because she has 2 8-second armbar submissions in her career. And Molly McCann got finished with an armbar against Julia Stoliarenko. So I'm going to go Alexia Tainara. Moving on. Who gives a fuck? Gunnar Nelson versus Kevin Holland. If you know anything about me, you know I fucking hate Kevin Holland. I don't respect him. He doesn't try. He's a quitter. He doesn't deserve to be in the UFC. He doesn't deserve to get the money he's getting from the UFC. He doesn't deserve some of the big fights he's had over his career. He doesn't deserve shit, dude. He's a known quitter. The second he faces adversity, he does quit. He's shown it time and time again. He's awful. He's not good. And knowing that about him, knowing what Gunnar Nelson is capable of, especially in the grappling where Kevin Holland literally ignores that part of his game, I can see Gunnar Nelson getting him down, dude. Kevin Holland facing adversity, pretending he's not trying and quitting. Gunnar Nelson will sub him early in the fight, dude. I can see Kevin Holland maybe having a moment on the feet. Maybe he'll hurt Gunnar. But Gunner's not going to get out of there that easy, dude. When he knows you're that fucking easy on the ground and you're going to quit and you're going to tap, Nelson's not going to fucking give up, dude. He's going to take your ass down and choke you the fuck out, dude. And I think Kevin Holland will tap. He'll probably do some attention-seeking shit at the end, like, oh, this fucking grappling shit. Like, oh, let's fucking strike. Like, dude, you fucking suck, Kevin Holland. Fuck you, dude. Hopefully he retires in the cage and never fights again. He should be cut from the promotion. He doesn't win. He doesn't bring anything to the fucking table. He fucking sucks. He does not try. Kevin Holland is a clown. I fucking hate him, dude. I hope he loses to Gunnar Nelson. There's a chance he wins, but fuck Kevin Holland, dude. Gunnar Nelson hopefully runs through this clown. Moving on to the co-main event, Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg. May I just say, Blachowicz hasn't fought in almost 2 years. He's fucking 42 years old. You can't be 2 years inactive at the age of 40 and come back at 42 and expect to look good against a young, hungry contender, powerful striker, and Carlos Ulberg. Dude, it's not going to fucking work like that. I do think it'll be a scrap. I don't think it'll be pure domination from Ulberg, but I think Ulberg will win by decision. I think Blachowicz can have some moments in this fight. I can see him utilizing the grappling maybe a little more than he has in past fights, utilizing low kicks on Ulberg. But Ulberg is just super good. He's quick. He controls range well. He's powerful as fuck. He's going to be a problem in the division, and I think Ulberg's run to the title will start with a win over Jan Blachowicz. I think he'll be too quick for him. I think he'll counter him well throughout the fight. I can see him hurting Blachowicz in moments, maybe sitting him down, rocking him, winning the fight off moments. The damage will be enough to win him the fight. I can see him winning 29-28 over Blachowicz, outclassing him on the feet. Maybe Blachowicz wins a round for himself with the grappling. We see Ulberg face adversity but deal with it well. I just think Ulberg is better than Blachowicz at this point. As crazy as that might be to say, Ulberg has shown to be very good. Blachowicz hasn't fought in 2 years. He's 42 years old. It's not a good sign. Don't be 2 years inactive at the age of 40 and come back to fight a powerful contender. When does that ever end well? Moving on to the next fight. The main event. Fuck. Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. Battle of the quitters, dude. Brady quit against Bilal. Leon quit against Bilal, dude. Both of Bilal's sons. I'm gonna go Leon Edwards in this one. I think he'll have a you must have forgot kind of performance. Yeah, I'm going to go Leon Edwards. I think Sean Brady looks super good as of recent. Dominant win over Kelvin Gastelum, which I didn't see coming at all. I thought Gastelum would outstrike Brady on the feet, defend the grappling well, and win the fight. He did beat Gilbert Burns after that, which also surprised me. Brady's looked super good as of recent. I'm not sure. Maybe he's on a PED cycle. Because how the fuck do you go from getting outstruck and quitting against Bilal to beating fucking Gilbert Burns by unanimous decision? I don't understand. I do think Leon Edwards will beat him. I know Leon had a very underwhelming performance against Bilal in his last fight. He got dominated in pretty much every aspect of the fight, even outstruck. Bilal's uppercut was fucking money, by the way. Hands like Canelo, don't forget. But yeah, there were moments Bilal's fucking piecing him up on the feet. I couldn't fucking believe it. I do think Bilal probably the loss to Bilal probably lit a fire under Leon, dude. I really think Leon didn't want to lose that fight to Bilal, but once he started losing to Bilal, he just let it happen, which I don't get the mindset, to just not try in a fight. But yeah, I think this might have lit a fire under Leon. I think Leon, we might see a different side of Edwards, I think he'll come out against Sean Brady quick, not holding back, ready to strike from the opening bell. We'll see a different Leon. I think Edwards at times is very gun-shy in fights, and this, a lot of times, he lets fights slip away from him because of it. his hesitancy to throw, him waiting for the perfect moment to go and throw this perfect shot instead of just throwing something to see what happens. He's always waiting for the perfect counter or the perfect jab or the perfect kick. Sometimes you just got to Drakus your way through fights, dude. And, yeah, I think he'll come out quick. I think he'll get started, and I think he has to. I think he has to get started quick against Sean Brady. He has to let Brady know there's danger early, or Brady will just out-grapple him throughout the fight. Brady won't respect the striking of Leon, and he will just take him down and fuck him up. I think Leon has to know that Leon has to let Brady know that he's dangerous. How dangerous he really is. He's got to show him early. I don't think Leon will let another fight like we saw with Bilal slip away from him. I don't think he'll let that ever happen again. This guy defended takedowns off Usman, defended takedowns off Covington, took both those guys down. Like, he's not a fucking novice on the ground. What I will say is Leon definitely has some quit in him. I called this battle of the quitters. They both quit. So does Sean Brady, though. Brady quit against Bilal. He was just letting himself get beat up against the cage with his hands up. I don't know what the fuck happened. Begging for the ref to stop it. Just fucking sitting there letting Bilal pillow fist his way to a victory. Didn't even try and fight back. Weird as fuck. Now he's destroying Gilbert Burns. PEDs, dude. Fucking watch it. Marquez MMA. I know what's up. But yeah. Brady might panic shoot if Leon's out striking him. Maybe here's what I'll say. Leon comes out striking early, throwing jabs, throwing 1-2s, throwing teeps, throwing low kicks. Brady's a little caught off guard by it. This is not what we expect from Leon. He tries to panic shoot. Leon stuffs it. That'll probably set the tone for the rest of the fight. I think once Leon starts quick and lets Brady know he's in danger, he can start to, Leon Edwards it up a little. Fight slower, fight at a slower pace. Just don't let the fight slip away from you, dude. When you got to know when you got to go, I think Leon will capitalize. I think, especially if he starts quick, Brady won't have time to shoot takedowns. He won't have time to take his time. He'll just panic a little bit, fall in front of Leon. Leon will be able to defend it easier and capitalize on the striking. I can see a 49-48 decision for Leon in this fight. And yeah, I just think Leon will remind us who the fuck he is, dude. Yeah. I think this will be a bounce back fight for Leon Edwards, and Sean Brady will, he'll take that step back and he'll improve, or he won't. Who cares? It's Sean Brady. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah. This seems like it's going to be a really good card. A lot of fun fighters, a lot of fun matchups. So yeah, super hyped for it. And yeah, let me know what you think of these predictions or the fights in the comments. And yeah, peace.